Hey Pipsters, how y'all doing today? Okay, so today's story time is entitled Mommy to a Preemie. Now this one is a Mother's Day special dedicated. It's actually dedicated to my little prince. I know. He should be dedicating something to me, but this one is dedicated to my little prince. And all my other preemie mummies out there. First things first, I felt inspired to do this story time just because there's a lot of people who look at him and try to compare him to a full-term baby. This is just their own ignorance, like they just didn't know any better, and I felt inspired to educate them. And I feel like a lot of my preemie mummies can relate. Now let me know whether or not you can relate. Okay, so first things first, Liam was born March 26th, however his original due date was May 4th. Little Prince is 13 and a half months. That is his chronological age. Now, there's a difference when it comes to chronological age and corrected age. Now, chronological age is how old he actually is, whereas his corrected age is how old he would have been had he been a full-term baby. Little Prince was 6 weeks premature. With that being said, I don't know what it was last year, but it seemed like everybody and their mama was trying to pop out a baby. Okay, so because of that, there's a lot of family, friends, individuals around us who have children around the same age as William. Every parent does this. You want to compare and contrast. What's my son doing? What's your son doing? Oh, he's not doing that. Oh, well, my son's doing that. You want to broadcast. You're proud of your child. You know, oh, look, they're walking. Oh, look, they're crawling. Oh, look, they're sitting up. Oh, look, they're feeding themselves. Oh, look, they're clapping. Oh, look, they're smiling. Oh, look this, you know. That's just all parents. You get excited for these things, right? You know, and that's how we kind of gauge our child's development. This is the one bad thing that parents tend to do. I say it's bad in the sense of, well, it's bad because you don't really want to be trying to compare your child to somebody else's, but it's bad because we put stress on ourselves. Every child is different. Every single child is different. Every single child develops differently. There's a number of things which affect a child's development, especially when it comes to premature baby. With William now, he's not walking on his own yet. Because he's still developing. When it comes to his gross motor skills, William is developing at his corrected age rather than his chronological age. So while he may be developing with other skills at his chronological age, when it comes to his gross motor skills, we've been finding that he's been developing at his corrected age, and he has always been doing this from jump. When it came to crawling, when it came to sitting up, when it came to walking, all of that. Now, with that being said, he does not walk on his own. He still walks with assistance, so he needs to hold mommy or daddy's finger, or he needs to hold on to something. He does not walk without any sort of support. This primarily is because of his gross motor skills development, and also too because mommy kind of did him wrong. And this is why I say that. Because I'm a first-time mommy, and you guys have heard me mention before, I do suffer from anxiety. So I am very much a worrier, okay? So when it comes to William, everything that William tries to do, I'm always like, oh, be careful. Oh, don't do that, be careful. Oh, pop up, be careful. So I kind of instilled that fear in him. So that's where mommy kind of did my baby wrong. And I can own that. I will own it. I will admit that I did my baby wrong like that. Hey, now I just know for future, right? Advice to mommies, do not do that. Let your child explore. They are gonna fall, and it's okay. They'll get back up and they'll try again. And that's really our job as parents. Not to instill that fear in them, but really it's just to encourage them. So that's something that I've been working on, and I have to admit, since I've been doing that, I have been noticing a large progression in terms of his gross motor skills development. Another thing is, William often had people saying, oh, he's so skinny. He doesn't eat. Why is he so skinny? He's so skinny. This and that. Okay, let me tell you something about my child. Okay, my child does eat. He is not like his mother. That's one thing I have to give him. He is very much like his father when it comes to food. He is not picky like his mother. This child eats, and he eats, and he eats, and does not mess around, does not play no games with his food or with his sleep. I used to always bring him to his doctor. His doctor kept saying, no, he's fine. Remember, he is developing at the age that he's supposed to be developing at. You cannot be comparing him to a full-term baby. You need to be comparing him to a premature baby. And you can't even do that because, again, every child is different. Because, of course, paranoid mommy kept making questions and having concerns, doctor had suggested for us to follow up with the nutritionist. Now, the nutritionist will help us to determine what foods to feed him to help put on weight. The pediatrician had actually given us a list of different foods, different fatty foods, things that we should be giving him or that will help to make him put on weight. Followed up with the nutritionist, came to the realization that the nutritionist seen, okay, wow, he has an amazing appetite, so it's not like he's not eating, there's no concerns or issues there. So the nutritionist felt like maybe it was just an iron deficiency. Now, the reason why she immediately jumped to that conclusion was because, I don't know about you guys, but I know with a lot of Caribbean people, it's always give your child porridge, give your child cornmeal, give your child barley, give your child oatmeal, give your child this, give your child that. So Leo was having a lot of porridge. He still does. He loves his porridge. And you know what, to tell you the truth, I think that part of that is because when I was pregnant, that was probably one of the only things I was able to eat was porridge. There's actually a certain intake that your child's supposed to be having, a certain dairy intake. And if they exceed that, chances are they A, get constipated, and B, they do not get the proper iron intake that they're supposed to be getting. So she let us know, okay, you know what, maybe you should test his iron level, see where he's at, because it was, in her opinion, she felt that possibly he had low iron. We made that mention to his pediatrician, who let us know pretty much right off the bat, yes, he must have low iron, definitely, especially because of how much milk he was taking. So Ashibu was actually the one who said, you know what, maybe when we tell them that we're giving him milk, like we're giving him his bottle, they're thinking we're actually giving the child like just milk to drink. Like, here you go, fill, you know, pour out milk and just give him to drink. Like, no, we would never do that. We were giving him porridge. So it was hard because you have the doctor sitting here telling you what to do here, and then, you know, your parents and the elders in your family telling you, no, don't listen to doctors, they don't know what they're talking about, child, do this. So it's hard, you know, because you're trying to listen to your parents and listen to your elders, but then at the same time you're trying to listen to the doctors. Now, I have a friend, you guys met Felicia, Miss Anonymous P, and we were discussing how she, like, we were due a day apart from each other. She was due the day before me, and crazy thing, she still had her daughter a day before me. So she was the one who let me know, like, wait, Lori, you have not been giving little Prince his iron supplement this whole time? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm supposed to be giving him his iron supplements? I didn't know this. And she's like, yeah, premature babies are supposed to be getting their iron supplements. I'm like tripping out, like, what do you mean? I was never told of this. My doctor did not tell me this. That now prompted me to do my own research. So I asked a lot of other mummies, you know, said no, they do not know what they're talking about. Iron supplement was foreign to them too. Like, what do you mean? Granted, I was asking mommies to full-term babies, not mommies to premature babies, okay? So I asked my cousin, who she's a nurse but also had a premature baby as well. She had her baby when she was 25 weeks pregnant, and she let me know, yes, babies, they are supposed to be getting their iron supplement, especially when they're premature. Here's the reason why. Babies tend to retain most of their iron nutrients towards the last trimester of the pregnancy. Now, because he was premature, he missed out on being able to absorb that iron that he needed. This is why you see in formulas, there's iron fortified formulas. So right away, jumped on that, started giving him his iron supplement. And let me tell you what, from the moment we started giving William his iron supplement, we were giving him, I believe it was 0.5 milliliters, and we started giving it to him every day. Now, when we started to do that, we noticed that he was getting constipated, so we started to give it to him every other day instead. When we did more research on iron supplements and things like that, they said that it's best to be given on an empty stomach Although yes, should be taken with food, it is best to be given on an empty stomach and with vitamin C, because vitamin C helps the absorption of the iron. Every morning before little prince has his breakfast, I give him his iron supplement, followed by some fruits, so usually like strawberries or some oranges. Ever since we started giving him that, we started to notice the child was thickening up. Now, very much like his mommy, it appears that he gains weight the way that I do. So when I gain weight, I usually start gaining in my thighs first, then my stomach, and then everywhere else after. So we've noticed a significant change in terms of his weight. So William is now weighing just over 20 pounds, whereas before he went on the supplement, he was weighing only 16 pounds, okay? So in a matter of, I'd say about 2 or 3 months, he went up to just over 20 pounds. So he's doing amazing in that regard. So that's another thing. If you see a child or a baby who, you know, looks a little bit slimmer than your ideal baby, don't be, oh, he's so skinny. Oh, he doesn't eat. Oh, give him. Don't be sitting there judging nobody's child because you do not know their situation. Premature babies are more susceptible to anxiety because when they're premature, they're more likely to have to stay in hospital when they are born. So with William had to stay in hospital for nearly 3 weeks after he was born. This was, you know, to allow him to be able to develop a little bit more better. For 1 week, he was in an incubator, so it allowed him, you know, just to cook a little bit longer. And then too, you know, he had to get to a certain weight. He had to be able to feed on his own, because when he was born, he was getting tube fed. Now, this is another common thing for premature babies because babies do not develop the sucking motion and usually until the final trimester. We literally had to teach him to suck. So you're there feeding them and you kind of like, you know, they have the bottle in their mouth and you kind of have to kind of do this underneath their chin, bringing it forward, just like this, you know? And that's to encourage them to suck. It would take him at least an hour just to finish like 30 milliliters. That's like nothing. But anywho, these are just some facts, some things that I wanted to bring to one's attention. There's some of the things that I learned along the way. And they're things that honestly, had I not been a mother to a preemie, I probably never would have learned. Or unless if I knew somebody or really had, you know, a daily interaction with a premature baby, I never would have known this. So this is why I was inspired to educate some of you guys on these things. So please, please, just bear in mind when you have, you know, you might have a friend who has a premature baby, or you might have a family member who has a premature baby. Don't be sitting there and judging their child and saying they should be doing this or they should be doing that. At the end of the day, the child should be doing as the child should be doing. The child is developing as that child sees fit. With Liam, sometimes there are some things that like, I'm like, okay Liam, come, you know, come crawl or come sit up. And you know, with every single skill that Liam has developed so far, he literally, it was like, one day he wasn't doing it and the next day he just woke up and he just started doing it. Like just woke up and just started doing it. So sometimes too we might feel like they're not learning, they're not progressing because we're not actually seeing it. But kids, they're like sponges. They might not be practicing it per se, but they're doing it. And a lot of times with children, especially babies, is they won't do it because they know that you want them to do it, because they know that they're being watched. So they're going to wait till when they feel like nobody's watching them. Like Liam, thank God for his baby monitor. Oftentimes we would find him practicing a lot of his, even all now, we see him practicing standing up by himself without holding on to anything. We see him walking back and forth in his crib because he thinks we're not watching him. That's just kids. They do what works best for them. And as parents, I think we just need to be supportive to whatever it is that they're doing at their own pace, whatever that may be. Do not be comparing, contrasting your child to any other child. And all my preemie mommies know that it's okay. If your child is not yet doing something that you see another child doing, it is okay. He or she will do that thing when their time is right. And bear in mind, just because they're not doing this one thing doesn't mean that they are not doing, in their own right, they're doing something else that that same child might not be able to do. So just keep that in mind. As mommies, we need to be supportive of all mommies. There needs to be larger support systems. And I've actually downloaded this great app. Check out Headliner app for all my mommies. I'm on there, Miss Pippi Official. Check it out. I find it to be a great supportive app. There's a lot of other mommies on there. And whenever I have any sort of questions or, you know, any sort of advice, I always just go on there, post a video looking for advice, and I get quick responses. The community is so warm, it's so welcoming, it's so supportive, and I feel like as mommies, that's really what we need. So this is just a little video that was dedicated to my little prince, just letting him know I am blessed to be your mommy. I think you are progressing just beautifully at your own pace. Both myself and your father are beyond proud of you and all that you're able to do thus far. Like, I'm so proud of him. I'm gonna try not to get emotional because I did that in my first story time, not really trying to do that in this one. So yeah, I'm gonna try really hard. As much as it's trying to come out right now, I'm gonna leave it at that. So shout out to Little Prince, shout out to all my mommies, especially to my Preemie mommies. So I'm gonna end this off because not only is my memory card about to get full up, but my battery is flashing that is low. So I'm gonna hit y'all up. Stay tuned for my next story time, which will be on my labor and delivery, and it'll also capture a little bit of my pregnancy as well, because it was a hard one. Oh yes, it was. So yes, stay tuned for that. My next story time to follow, and a vlog will be out later this week. All right, y'all, I've been missing you guys. I have enjoyed my Mother's Day. I don't even mean to brag, but honestly guys, Little Prince and King Ushibu, they definitely did me up this Mother's Day, hence why the story time is being put out later than it was supposed to. But thank you, shout out my hubby, shout out my Little Prince. You guys did amazing. I know I go back and forth between Little Prince, William, Liam. It's all the same child, okay? So I'll hit y'all up later, Pipsters, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? Like, share, and subscribe. All right, Pipsters, and I'll catch y'all in a little. Toodles. Stay blessed.